Welcome back to Oak and Age. My name is Alan, and today I'm talking about 6 things that I think people who are new to whiskey should know. All right, in no particular order, I'm just gonna list these off. I've been getting a lot of people asking me a lot of different questions ever since I started this channel, and I've noticed a few themes that I wanted to touch on, so that's kind of where the contents of this video are coming from. And I'm gonna just list them out in no particular order, starting with number 1, and that is the question around tasting notes. How to give tasting notes. Am I doing it wrong? Quite simply, the answer is no. You're not doing it wrong. There is really no wrong way to taste a whiskey unless you're drinking and you completely miss your mouth, in which case maybe it's time to pack it in and call it a night. Try again another day. Look, when someone gives tasting notes, what they're doing is they're drawing on past experiences. Now, whether that is, outside the realm of whiskey or outside the realm of culinary experiences, they are drawing on the wealth of information in their heads that they can then compare what they're experiencing with that whiskey to. I've heard people compare Islay Scotch with the tar that they smell in a shipyard. I have no frame of reference for that. I'm a city boy, and there is no big body of water anywhere nearby. So that is not a tasting note that I could ever pick up on. But for her, that was legit, and I can't question that. That's what she that was what she experienced, and that's 100% okay. If you are new to whiskey, you don't have a wealth and a breadth of knowledge about other whiskeys to try and compare to either, right? So it's gonna be really hard for you to pick up on, how one whiskey compares to another whiskey until you've kind of built up that knowledge. So of course, the best thing you could possibly do in this circumstance is to drink more whiskey. The other thing to remember is that everyone tastes whiskey differently, and there's a few different reasons for that. What you had to eat in the last hour may or may not impact the way you taste a whiskey. Same with what you had to drink. If you're on your 2nd or 3rd whiskey in a row, what you just drank might have an impact in what you're going to drink next. That's just how your taste works. We cannot look past the genetic factor. Some people just are better at tasting things than others, and some people taste things completely differently. It's a completely different experience for them. To make a case in point, let's talk about cilantro. I have never seen a vegetable that is more polarizing than cilantro. Some people, if given the choice, would sooner eat the rotting flesh of their stillborn child than have to suffer through a bite of cilantro. And other people think it tastes really good on a Vietnamese sub. Who's right or wrong there is up for debates, and I think that's why God made the YouTube comments section, so feel free to go duke it out down there. But at the end of the day, these are genetic factors that kind of play into how everyone experiences things differently. So, bottom line, no, you're not tasting things wrong, you're just tasting things your way. So if you really want to give good tasting notes, just be true to yourself, describe what it is that you experience to the best of your ability, and keep drinking more whiskey. Seriously, because then you have, you're starting to build up on your experiences, and keep an open mind about what you're tasting too. Take a note. Hey, if I'm drinking bourbons, it seems like there's this common flavor profile throughout that's different than when I'm drinking scotches, and it's different than when I'm drinking a Canadian whiskey or an Irish whiskey, because all of these different whiskeys, of course, have different flavor profiles. You can't know that until you try a bunch. Number 2 on the list is the question of adding water or ice to whiskey. Should you? Should you not? Look, again, it's gonna be a completely subjective answer that comes down to how do you like to drink your whiskey? Because if you're drinking it the way you like it, the haters, don't worry about it, you do you. Now, I will say, as someone who doesn't really like to water down my whiskey, I would always advocate that you at least try it neat first, because you can add water in, but you can't take water out. And you may find that you like it just the way it is, straight out of the bottle. Distilleries hire a master blender to taste the stuff, and they build a flavor profile that they have to be happy with before they sign off and put it in a bottle. So that's kind of the mindset I have when I sip a whiskey. because I wanna know what they think is the best. Now, not all whiskeys are made equal. You have some that are a higher proof, a higher ABV. Maybe those are the ones that you might wanna look at adding more water to. When you get down to the 40%, 80 proof level, 40% ABV is the legal minimum requirement for a whiskey. So, you know, think about whether or not you want to add water to that one. But again, it's up to you. If that's how you like it, I'm not going to talk you out of it, and you shouldn't let anyone else talk you out of it either. In fact, I made a video about this. It's about whiskey snobs and, you know, things they're going to say that you should just ignore. Just a note about adding ice. Ice obviously is made of water, and as it melts, it's going to dilute your drink. But it also is going to cool down your drink. And the colder your drink is, the less those volatile chemicals that give off the flavors and aromas that make a whiskey enjoyable are going to hit your palate. There's a whole lot of science behind that I don't have the intelligence to really eloquently get into. Suffice it to say, when you drink a cooler whiskey, it's just not gonna have the same amount of flavor and aroma as it otherwise would. So bear that in mind if you're inclined to add ice, but you still want to taste it. Maybe think about just adding a few drops of water instead. But again, if that's how you like to drink it, I'm not gonna stop you. One last note, if you like your whiskey in a shot glass, go. Get out.
You know the routine. In the kennel. Go on. Very disappointed. You're in the penalty box.
I'm sorry you had to see that. The thing is, a whiskey spent a lot of time in a barrel. You might as well taste it on the way down. Otherwise, what's the point? Just shoot vodka. All right, tip number 3 for people who are new to whiskey, invest in proper drinkware. Not all glasses are made equally. I mean, yes, as long as they're not leaking, they will do as a vessel that holds liquid, but there's a reason why you see a lot of people drink whiskey out of something like this. This is called a Glencairn glass. It's kind of the gold standard for whiskey tasting, and I will get into the geekery on why that is in just a second, but first let's talk about some of the other glasses that I have here. This is a dirty, I should really clean that. This is another kind of a tasting glass. I actually did get this from a distillery. Yeah, I need to clean this better. That's kind of gross. But this is a tasting glass as well. This is also from a distillery, and it is another kind of tasting glass. You'll notice a trend with these glasses. I'm gonna cry if I break these. You can see they have something in common, and that is the bulb shape, like a tulip. There's a reason for that. Gonna set these down and not break them. These are cocktail glasses or rocks glasses or whatever you want to call them. And while they will do just fine for sipping on a bourbon or whatever, if you're really keen to pick up on the taste, the flavor profile, the aromas of a whiskey, these will not be your best bets. And that is because, I'm gonna nerd out here for a moment. Your olfactory system, that is your sense of smell, plays a huge role in how you taste and experience a whiskey. Whiskeys are full of volatile chemicals that give off these aromas that really impart a lot of dynamic and flavor. That didn't come out very elegantly. And they work in conjunction to make this really dynamic and amazing experience. If you're drinking out of a glass like this, then the vapors, the alcohol vapors that help make up a lot of those aromas do not funnel up to your nose. They kind of funnel around your face. So you're only getting a portion of the aromas that you would if you were drinking out of a glass such as this Glencairn, which just by virtue of its shape funnels those alcohol vapors up to your nose. So you can see when I drink, the alcohol vapors are more directly coming at my nose, and I can sort of breathe in and taste it and smell it simultaneously. Bonus points for the Glencairn, because when you drink out of it, your pinky usually sticks out and you look like a classy bitch. Now, it should be said there are a lot of different kinds of glassware. The Glencairn, like I mentioned, is kind of the gold standard, but you've also got things like the Norland glass, which I happen to have and will be doing a video about very soon. I think everyone who's getting serious into whiskey should have a Glencairn glass or two, you know, to help complement their tasting journey. Number 4, in continuing with being a geek, my tip is keep a journal or a list of the whiskeys that you've tried. I get it, nobody likes homework, and you know, if that doesn't appeal to you, then that's fine. But one thing I like to do is I use an app called Distiller, and it lets you make lists of all kinds of different whiskeys. You can search through a huge database, and so what I like to do is anytime I'm trying a new whiskey, I'll log into my Distiller app and I will just add that whiskey to my list, and I can sort them that way. Did I like them? Do I want to buy them? Are they on my wish list? Are they top shelf whiskeys? Are they part of my collection? You can kind of custom tailor your lists and do it that way. I know that sounds like an ad for Distiller. I am not sponsored by them. I just use the app and I like it. That's an easy thing to do. Everyone's got an iPhone or an Android. Either way, all of these phones have, you know, note-taking apps. Start a notepad, you know, and just list like, today I tried this, I liked it, tasted like that. Keep that for reference because you never know when you might want to go back and explore that again. You might be at a liquor store and you might see a sale shelf. Oh, dude, I can't remember if I liked that one or not. I don't know, I just think keeping a journal, keeping notes and tabs on the stuff you've tried and experienced really does help to kind of get your head in the game a little more. Number 5 on my list, be open-minded. Try different things. I mean, you may decide that I really like Woodford Reserve because I watched that Oak and Age episode and I tried it and it was the best thing I ever put in my mouth. I don't blame you. But if you just stick to Woodford Reserve, you're gonna miss out on a whole lot of other things. Be open-minded, because if I tell you, dude, the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select is one of the best whiskeys I've tried in a long time, you might look at me and go, did you say Jack Daniel's? The thing that white chicks shoot back at the bar? And I get it. Jack Daniel's is probably best known for, you know, being good with Coke in a mix. And it's not really, you know, a true whiskey that a whiskey lover would enjoy. Try to avoid thinking in those sorts of black and white terms, because then you're gonna miss out on really good things, such as the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Select, which again is a really fantastic bottle if you forget everything you think you know about Jack Daniel's. As much as I say don't let other people's snobbery impact you, don't in turn allow yourself to become a snob. Keep an open mind, try different things. The 6th thing on my list of tips for people who are new to whiskey, join a community. Seriously, I know that I make drinking alone look like a lot of fun, but I promise you it's not. I'm so lonely. That shit got dark. Seriously, there's a lot of people out there who like whiskey, and you probably know a few of them. It's a great reason to have people over or to go over to someone else's house. Just get out of the house. Join up with other people with similar interests and talk about these things and, you know, raise a glass or two in good company. And, you know, there's just so much you can learn about other people and try from their collection. You can share with yours and everyone comes together and it's just a gay old time. Flintstones. Meet the Flintstones. If you are afraid of human contact, don't worry. There are also internet groups too. Check out the Whiskey Tribe. I'm a huge fan of the Whiskey Tribe. They've got a Facebook group. They've got a pretty active YouTube comment community. There's a lot of Instagram accounts out there that talk about whiskey, my own included. There's Reddit threads, like, the internet's a big place. I don't need to tell you that. Join a community, chip in. The Distiller app I mentioned previously, while it's not super community-based, you can still go on and leave reviews and follow people and you know, find me on Distiller if you'd like. My moniker is Oak and Age. Go figure. You know, I just think it's the whole reason I started this YouTube channel in the first place was because I wanted to kind of build up a community about this stupid, silly little thing that I'm passionate about, and because I think my real life friends were really sick of hearing me talk about it all the time. There's a lot of people out there who want to talk about whiskey with you, and they want to experience whiskey with you, so, you know, find people. And because I'm feeling charitable today, I leave you all with a bonus 7th tip for people who are new to whiskey, and that is to smash the subscribe button and ring the bell so that I can continue to bring you great content every week that pertains to whiskey or the distilled spirit. If you liked this video, please like it. If you have something you want to say, that's why God gave us comments, right? Find me on Oak and Age on the Distiller app, as well as on Instagram. You can feel free to slide into my DMs. Just don't be a creep. And until next time, don't drink and drive. Please drink responsibly and have yourselves just a wonderful, wonderful day.
Doop, 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 dooby doop, doop, bop, doop, bop, doop, dooby doop, doop, bop, doop, bop, doop, dooby doop.
Thanks for watching Oak and Age. Please hit like and subscribe. Cause if you don't, I will hunt you down and I'll gouge out both of your eyes.
Beep, bop, beep, 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 beep.